They called him too frail, too skinny. His legs, one of his first coaches said, looked like a couple of thin sticks. At 17, after an injury scare, his boyhood club's reserve team, Legia Warsaw II, let him go. It was one of the worst days of his life. He felt like his dream was over before it had even begun. So how did that player the kid cast aside and told he wasn't good enough become this? How did the skinny kid from Warsaw become one of the most feared, complete and unstoppable strikers in modern football? To understand Robert Lewandowski is to understand how a goal machine is built, not born. We see the mind-bending records, the avalanche of goals, and the shelves overflowing with trophies. We see a player who seems like he was cooked up in a lab, a perfect mix of strength, smarts, and a predator's instinct. But the player we see today wasn't created overnight. He was forged. This is the story of that transformation. It's a story about bouncing back from devastating setbacks, about an obsessive drive for perfection, and a mentality that turned a determined young player into a living legend. This is how Robert Lewandowski became unstoppable, the underdog, forged in fire. The story starts in Lesno near Warsaw, where a young Robert was surrounded by sports. With a judo champion for a father and a professional volleyball player for a mother, athletics were in his blood. His father, Krzysztof, was his biggest fan, driving him for hours to train with Varsovia Warsaw. He was the one who named him Robert, an international name, certain his son was destined for Europe's biggest stages. Tragically, his father would never see that dream come true. He passed away when Robert was just 16, a heartbreaking loss that forced the young man to grow up fast. He became more focused, more driven, channeling his grief into the game. But his path was about to get even tougher. Just a year later, in 2006, the second big blow landed. After dealing with an injury, he was released by Legia Warsaw's reserve team. At an age when clubs are supposed to build up talent, he was told he was surplus to requirements, partly due to his slender frame. He was crushed. It hurt a lot, he said. It felt like his career was falling apart. This is the moment that defines the rest of his story. For many, losing a parent and being rejected by a top club would have been the end. For Lewandowski, it was just the beginning. It was fuel. His mother refused to let the dream die, and within hours, he had a trial lined up with Znicz Pruszków, a team in Poland's third division. He was hurting, physically and emotionally, but a fire had been lit. He'd been told no. That was all the motivation he needed. He didn't just recover, he completely took over. He finished as the league's top scorer, leading the club to promotion. The next season, in the second division, he did it again, top scorer. He wasn't just proving people wrong, he was systematically taking their doubts apart, one goal at a time. The rest of Poland was starting to pay attention. The transformation, the making of a monster. In 2008, top-flight club Lech Poznan took a chance on the kid from the lower leagues, and it paid off. In his first season, he helped them win the Polish Cup, and in his second, he fired them to the Ekstraklasa League title, finishing as the top scorer. He was no longer just a prospect, he was a proven winner. But his biggest transformation was still to come. In 2010, after an Icelandic volcano eruption famously messed up his travel plans, he signed for Borussia Dortmund, managed by the intense and brilliant Jürgen Klopp. This is where a good striker started turning into a world-class monster. The first 6 months were rough. Klopp's training sessions were notoriously demanding, and Lewandowski struggled to find his footing, often playing in a deeper role. But Klopp saw the raw talent and, through his unique brand of tough love and mentorship, began to sharpen it. He didn't just build Lewandowski's confidence, he built a complete forward. After every single session, Lewandowski would stay behind, taking shots with his left foot, then his right, over and over, laying the foundation for the two-footed killer we know today. Under Klopp, he won back-to-back Bundesliga titles. But his real arrival on the world stage came on one unforgettable Champions League night in 2013. 4 goals against Real Madrid in a semi-final. It was an iconic performance that announced a new predator was at the top of the food chain, the legend, the peak predator. In 2014, Lewandowski made the highly controversial move to a domestic rival, Bayern Munich. If Dortmund was where he was made, Munich is where he became a legend. At Bayern, his personal ambition found a club with the same obsessive desire to win, and the results were terrifying for the rest of Europe. He won the Bundesliga title in every single one of his 8 seasons there. But to understand his evolution at Bayern, you have to look beyond the pitch. 2 things elevated him from great to legendary. The first was his mindset. Pep Guardiola, his first coach at Bayern, called him one of the most professional players he'd ever met. His focus wasn't just on winning, it was on total domination, year after year. The second factor was a quiet revolution in his physical preparation, led by his wife, Anna Lewandowska. A nutrition expert and karate champion, she completely transformed his approach to diet and recovery. She helped tune his body into a perfect athletic machine, making him stronger, faster, and incredibly resistant to injuries. This total dedication to his craft is the secret to his amazing consistency at the highest level. With this perfected mind and body, the records started to fall in spectacular fashion. In 2015, coming on as a substitute at halftime against Wolfsburg, he did something that still doesn't seem real. He scored 5 goals in just under 9 minutes. It was a feat so absurd, so completely reality-defying, that it earned him 4 Guinness World Records. His absolute peak came in the 2019-2020 season. He was simply on another planet. He led Bayern to a historic sextuple, winning every single trophy available. He was the top scorer in the Bundesliga, the DFB Pokal, and the Champions League. The only reason he didn't win the Ballon d'Or that year was because the award was cancelled. He was, without a doubt, the best player in the world, but he wasn't finished. One of football's most sacred records was still standing: Gerd Müller's 40 goals in a single Bundesliga season, a record that had seemed untouchable for 49 years. In the 2-0-2-0-2-1 season, Lewandowski chased it down. He went into the final match day tied with Müller. Then in the 90th minute, the very last minute of the season, he scored 41 goals. The record was his. It was a breathtaking moment that perfectly captured his relentless, never-give-up attitude, a new challenge and enduring legacy. After conquering Germany, he decided he needed a new world. In 2022, at an age when most strikers are thinking about retirement, he took on a new challenge at FC Barcelona. He proved his greatness wasn't limited to one league, immediately becoming the team's attacking leader and top scorer. He's continued to bang in goals, silencing anyone who doubted his longevity. His journey is more than just a list of stats. It's a blueprint for how to achieve greatness. It's the story of the skinny kid who was told no, the boy who lost his father but never lost his drive, the player who was released but refused to be broken. After a brief step away from the Polish national team following a dispute in early 2025, he confirmed his desire to return to help his country's World Cup qualifying campaign under new management, once again answering the call. He answered every setback with goals, every doubt with records, and every question with a title. Robert Lewandowski's career is packed with moments that don't seem possible. But which one stands out the most to you? Was it the superhuman 5 goals in 9 minutes? Or breaking Gerd Müller's 49-year-old record in the final seconds of the season? Let us know your favorite Lewandowski moment in the comments below. And if you want more stories about football's biggest icons, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. From the lower divisions of Poland to the very top of world football, Robert Lewandowski's rise is a masterclass in the power of an unbreakable will. He isn't just a collection of goals and trophies, he is the walking, talking embodiment of professionalism, resilience, and a relentless hunger to be the best. He is living proof that talent is just the start, and that true legends are forged in the fires of doubt and defined by their refusal to ever stop.